There's a moment in every wedding photographer's journey where the flash fires and nothing happens. Or worse, it fires and it turns the bride into a glowing, supernatural being from another realm. Beautiful, terrifying, and completely unusable. Or maybe, just maybe, your flash decides it's only going to work every third Thursday during a leap year. Because why not? But today, we're fixing all of that. Because panic isn't a lighting technique, no matter how much you want it to be. So let's start with the classics, and that is either an underexposed flash or an overexposed one. These are the two main villains for any wedding photographer. You know the moment where you take your test shot, you look at the screen, and it's just pure white. Pretty much like someone's handed your camera directly to the sun. Usually the fix is pretty simple. Most people think, flash power, I'm going to drop it. Which is great. But when your brain is in full wedding day panic mode, even the obvious things just seem to vanish. So I like to take a breath and start by halving the flash power. I'll then take another test shot and see what that does, and then I'll adjust it again if needs be. Go in small steps. None of these 4 power to 1/128th power drops all in one sudden movement. But what if that doesn't get you there? Just close down your aperture a bit. Going from say f2.8 to f4 or f5.6 can instantly rescue you without the need of even messing with your flash. Same with ISO. If you're at ISO 800 indoors, basically your flash is just screaming for help. And then there's the bounce. People tend to forget how powerful bright ceilings and bright walls actually are. If you're bouncing off something that's basically white, you might as well just be bouncing off of a nuclear explosion. Just tone it down a little bit and everything should go back to normal. But believe me, in the past I've made brides glow so white that I swear they've started radiating warmth. So on the complete flip to that, we've got underexposure. That's the other one. You take your shot and all of a sudden your couples look like witnesses in a crime documentary. Usually, again, the fix is simple. You just need a little bit more flash power. And again, make sure you change it in small increments. Or you can just open up your aperture. If you're at say f5.6 in a dark barn in the middle of winter that's lit by fairy lights and candles, then yeah, you're going to need some help for your flash there. And please, don't be afraid of ISO. It's not 2009 anymore. Modern cameras can handle it. Let your ISO do some of your lifting so that the flash doesn't have to. And finally, shorten the distance that you're trying to bounce your light. I see photographers just point their flash backwards, aiming at a wall that's in another postcode area. You need to bounce your flash smartly, where it's going to have the most impact and actually count. Next up, we've red eye. The classic, everybody in my picture looks like vampires problems. Basically, this happens when the flash is too close to the lens. The light goes straight out and then straight back in again, like a retina laser show. The fix for this is really simple. Just get the flash a little bit higher than the subject's eyes, or even better, bounce it off of a ceiling or a wall. Even stepping back slightly from the subject or slightly to the side can have a dramatic improvement on the shot. Basically, do anything that breaks that line of sight from the flash to the subject's eyeballs and back to your lens. Next up, let's talk about blown highlights, especially on the wedding dress. You take a shot, look at the back of your camera, and the dress is basically gone, vaporized. There's no detail in it, and it's pure white, like a fresh blank Word document. That usually means that you've bounced your flash a little bit too hard or you've fired it directly at the subject. So basically you need to either pull your flash power back a little bit or bounce the flash off a wider area. Another thing you can do is use a flag or even your hand to stop the light from your flash dumping straight down on top of the dress. And remember, if you're fighting your manual flash settings during the emotional points of a wedding, then switch to TTL. Yes, I know TTL isn't perfect, but it is a lot better than panic. So next we're going to tackle flat light, or as I like to call it, the fridge light problem. This is the one where the couple look fine, but also like they're about to star in a supermarket loyalty card photo shoot. Flat light usually happens because the flash is either pointing straight up or straight at the couple with no direction. So get an angle that thing, bounce it off of a wall and create some shape. You'll instantly add shadow and depth to your image and you'll get one that looks a whole lot more professional and a lot less like a passport photo. My flash worked 5 seconds ago, so why isn't it now? This is the one that always happens during the worst possible moments. The first dance, misfire. Vows, another misfire. Cake cutting, triple misfire. It's like the flash knows that you're in one of the most important parts of the wedding day. So whenever my flash stops working, I mentally walk through my checklist. First up is batteries. If your batteries are even slightly questionable, then without doubt your flash will choose violence. Swap them and always carry spares. Lots and lots of spares. Second up, we've got sleeping flashes. Some systems aggressively like to take a nap. Make sure you wake them up before any key moments. Third, we've got channels. And listen, if you've not spent a whole 10 minutes troubleshooting your flash only to realise that your trigger and your flash are on different channels, are you even a wedding photographer? Fourth, we've got line of sight. If your flash is behind a stone pillar or even a wedding guest that's basically a human eclipse, that radio connection between the trigger and the receiver gets a little bit weird. And fifth is one for my Godox users, and that's overheating. I see you, I feel you, and I share your pain. And when all else fails, I'm going to be completely honest, I turn everything off, take a really deep breath, and I turn it all back on again. It's not glamorous, but it does work about 98% of the time. So weddings change lighting more often than the DJ changes tracks. 1 minute you're outside in a gorgeous golden hour glow, and the next you're in a barn so dark it feels like a side quest on Skyrim. So the trick here is to pre-plan your settings. I choose to have different profiles saved on my camera. Like I'll have my C1 button customized for outdoors and my C2 button is set up to shoot indoors. That way, when you go from outside to inside, you're literally one button click away from stability. And here's a funny one. A guest's phone triggering your flash. Just make sure you turn off optical triggering. Go radio only. Otherwise, Uncle Bob is going to activate your flashes from the other side of the dance floor with his iPhone. When things do get a little bit hectic, like the dance floor for example, keep things simple. Use consistent settings, keep your ISO and your aperture stable, and only adjust the flash power when it's absolutely necessary. The last thing that you want to be doing is adjusting 5 different variables when the DJ is blasting out Mr. Brightside for the 3rd time that night. So now I'm going to throw out a few bonus ones that I've seen over the years. Number 1 is shooting everything at eye level. I know we touched on it earlier, but please move. Crouch, stand on a chair, or lie down like a sniper if you have to. Your lighting and your portfolio will thank you later. Number 2 is a common one, and that's forgetting your flash has a recycling time. If you've fired 10 shots in a row and half of them are pitch black, that's just your flash saying, can I get a breather here? Number 3 is using the same lighting settings all day long. Weddings are basically a lighting simulator 2025. You need to adjust on the fly to an ever-changing scenario. Number 4 is not checking the back of your camera. Chimping is not a sin. It's a survival technique. Number 5, I see a lot, and that's photographers trying to bounce their flash off of a black ceiling. Look, I love your imagination, but the laws of physics have left the chat. And finally, number 6. It's a simple one, but it does catch out a lot of beginner photographers. And that is a sync speed issue. You've taken your picture, you look down at the back of your camera, and there's a black bar running through the center of your image. Luckily, the fix for this is really easy. You just need to make sure that you drop your shutter speed below 1/250th of a second and hope that you haven't missed anything important. Okay, so that was lesson 8, troubleshooting and common flash mistakes. Today, we've covered how to fix overexposed and underexposed shots, how to avoid things like red eye, blown highlights and flat lighting, how to deal with misfires and triggers that behave like unruly toddlers, and how to maintain consistency on a wedding day that changes lighting every 5 minutes. And remember, if you've ever panicked at a wedding, same. You're not alone. You're just a simple photographer trying to control the photons in an ever-changing universe. The next episode is going to be a big one. Lesson 9 is about putting everything that we've learnt together and building a sustainable flash workflow for every wedding that you photograph. This is where we're going to combine everything we've learnt from the series into a simple, repeatable system that you can use at every single wedding. If this video's helped out or made you feel slightly less crazy about your flash, do me a massive favour and hit the like button. Drop me a comment and tell me about your worst flash fail. I and everybody else would love to hear it, just so we know we're not alone. And if you could, hit the subscribe button so you don't miss lesson 9 or any other of my future videos. And remember, if your flash misfires, just move on and pretend it was artistic intent. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.